channel. My name is Zoki and I'm a Gemini, which is why this channel is called Zoki the Gemini. As you can see from this title, I'm back with a different type of video. Today I'm here with a makeup tutorial and I'm going to be showing you how I achieve this soft glam look. If you want to see how I achieve this look, make sure you stay tuned and make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Now let's get into this video. So I'm going to do my eyebrows on camera. You'll see I put the mirror right in front of my face. That's because I have bad eyesight. Not my fault, God gave it to me. But anyways, let's do my eyebrows and then I'll tell you the rest of the steps. For the time being, enjoy the backing music. So my eyebrows are drawn on now. They look very mixy patchy, but it's going to be corrected by my concealer, don't you worry. So to do my eyebrows, I use literally this cheap eyeliner that I bought from the market. So it doesn't even have a name, that's how cheap it is. So to neaten my eyebrows, I use the Revolution Conceal and Define in Infinite. I'll include a picture here. I use C15. I actually use this concealer to correct my eyebrows, do my concealer under my eye, correct. I just basically use this concealer for everything. Nonetheless, let me correct this eyebrows, make it more sharp, and I'll come back on camera. I have really dark lids, as you can see, so when I'm defining my eyebrows, I use this opportunity to both correct the dark lids and to also define the eyebrows. So I'm basically done with my eyebrows now. So as you saw, I put concealer on them, I color corrected my lids, and I also shaped my eyebrows. They're not like massively shaped, but that's okay because as I proceed with my makeup, I shape them even further. You'll see what I'm talking about by the time we get to the end of this video. Now we move on to foundation. Now I use two different types of foundation. So the first foundation I use is the Maybelline Fit Me in 380. I'll pop it on screen now. So I use this and I use this color around the circumference on my face. This is a perfect match for me. So the base of my face is actually my color, but I like my inner face to be more bright. So under my eye, around my forehead, I like that to be bright. I use a second foundation, which is the L'Oreal True Match, and I get the shade Ebony, which I'll also pop up on screen. So as you can see, around the circumference on my face, I've added the Maybelline Fit Me. Now I'm going to add the L'Oreal True Match to the inner parts of my face. I've added a True Match now. So before I start blending in my foundation, I actually make sure that my eyebrow is blended in really well first. So I get like a smaller brush and I take some of my foundation and do an outline around my eyebrows so that the foundation actually reaches there, because when I move on, you're going to see that I use a brush, and sometimes a brush can bypass the small corners under your eyebrow. Almost look so crazy right now, but now that I've used a smaller brush to outline my eyebrows, ensure that I don't have no halo eyes, I'm gonna come with this Morphe brush M439, which I'm gonna put on the screen, and I use this to blend out my face. I absolutely adore this brush so much because, as you can see, it's a big brush. I've got a big face. It ensures that I'm able to get like all of my face and I don't have to spend ages on ages blending. So when I discovered this brush, I was just like, yes. So if you've got a round face, I suggest you also purchase this brush. So I've blended in my foundation now, as you can see. Now it's time to move on to concealer. As I said before, I use this one concealer for everything. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite, and I use the C15, which I would have showed you on screen already. So I'm just going to add this to under my eye, a bit on my nose, on my chin, on top of my lips, and on my forehead, which you will see coming up right now. So as you can see, I've added all the concealer now. So I've put under my eye, on my nose, on my forehead, under my chin, and on top of my nose. I personally don't believe in contouring, so I don't contour my nose. I don't even contour my face. Instead, I do like reverse contour, which is using a lighter concealer under here. For now, I'm just gonna blend out this concealer. And the way that I blend out my concealer, I first blend out the outer corners, then I go inside. So to blend out my concealer, I use a Kabuki brush. I will put on screen. So this is the Sigma Tapered Kabuki brush in F86. This has a wide mouth, as you can see, and it really helps with covering a lot of space in a short amount of time. So when I'm doing my makeup, I think one tip you can get is that I don't like to waste time. If I can get a brush or a blender or something that covers a large amount of space in a short amount of time, I'm gonna do that, because I've got a wide face. There's a lot of area to cover. So I just blend out the outer corner, as you can see. And then when I eventually do go into the inner corner, so under my eye, I actually take some of the concealer that's on here and put it on my eyelid, because I want to ensure that everything is one color. So to brighten my face, I use the Pro Concealer, LA Girl Pro Concealer in Chestnut, and I put this under my eye, which you will see, and that's just to like brighten my under eye, because right now it doesn't really look like I have concealer or highlighter on like that. Because to set my base for my concealer, I use one that's quite close to my foundation shade, as you can see. But to give me that brighten effect, that's why I go on with the Chestnut, which is a much, as you can see, much lighter than my skin color, but it all blends in really well, which you will see. I saw one girl do her concealer like this, and ever since I've been doing it like this, because you know normally like you do concealer here, but she literally done it like around the inner corner of her eye and then the outer corner, and I don't know what difference it makes, but this is how I do my second set of concealer now. As I said, I don't know if it makes any difference, but I like the end result, so So now that I've put on this second set of concealer, I'm going to use a mixture of this Sigma Kabuki brush and also beauty blender, because the good thing about beauty blenders is obviously because they're cornered, so they can get into the corner of your eye. But this is really good with making sure everything is blended, and then the beauty blender is good with actually getting into those spots. So without talking too much, you're gonna see what I do. So as you can see, it's not blended whatsoever. So I've used my beauty blender to start that blending procedure. Then I'm going to go in with the Kabuki brush to finalize it. So I've blended out my second set of concealer now. Now it's time to move on to setting. So I'm going to set my face. I'm going to set under my eye, my forehead, some parts of my nose, my eyelid. So basically everywhere that got concealer. So the setting powder I use, this container is the Sacha Buttercup powder, but as you can see, this is really dark, so obviously it's not only Sacha Buttercup. I mix my setting powders all the time, and this mixture, which I believe is honestly the best mixture ever, so this mixture is the Sacha Buttercup and also the Ben Nye powder in Ebony. So the reason why I added this is I wanted something a bit darker. I didn't want it to be too bright, but to lift up the color a little bit more, I also use Ben Nye in Topaz. So this setting powder here is a mixture between Sacha Buttercup, Ben Nye Ebony and Ben Nye Topaz, so 3 setting powders. I don't advise you guys do this because it's quite costly. I recommend you just look for a setting powder that looks good for you. I need to go and look for one, but for the time being I'm going to continue buy 3 and basically pull them all together. So to set under my eye, I use a beauty blender because, as I said, it's cornered or angled, shall I say, and it helps you reach places that brushes will not easily access. So So as you can see, I just tap it in. So now that I've done under my eye, I'm going to do my eyelids. Then I take a little bit, put some on the beauty blender, then put it on my nose. So now that I've applied my setting powder, I'm going to set my face using the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I love this setting spray. I'm going to put it on screen. I'm not too sure why I love it, but I've used others like the MAC one, the MAC Clear one, but they've never been as good as this. It gives me like a matte slash dewy look. As my face is setting and the setting powder is applying itself and the setting spray is all sinking in and whatever, I do my winged eyeliner. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Now, this is not the best way to do it. I've only started doing winged eyeliner of recent, and what you guys need to realize, I have very bad eyesight, so they're not always sisters, like they're not even always friends, but I use big lashes which usually covers them anyways. So let me show you how I do my winged eyeliner. So as you can see, I've done both eyes. This eye is way sharper than this eye, but I'm not even going to stress about it because life happens. I've got bad eyesight, so that's my excuse. So now I'm just going to put some glue on my lash, and before I do that, I'm going to put on blush. So I've got my blush brush, and this is the blush I use, but I use the SAHARAN blush volume 1, and this is by Juvia's Place. So I mix Zane with Toby. So I use this, I use this and this. So I just add blush at this time because my face is set and I want to add some color to it. So I've put my eyelashes on now. I hope that they're on straight. If they're wonky, my bad. So the I guess final procedure, or second to last procedure that I do is after I've set my face, so after I put in setting powder and I've set it with the liquid, I actually go in with a lighter setting powder. So I use the Huda Beauty, as you can see, in Blondie. I know why I do this, because I really like a bright under eye look. So this next step is completely optional. You don't have to go in and put another setting powder. I'll put on the Blondie now. So last thing I do is go back with some blush to bring warmth to my face once again. So usually girls use a bronzer. Is it a bronzer? I think it's bronzer that like dark, it's like an alternative to contouring. I don't use that. I just use blush to achieve this. So to do this final step, I go back to my Juvia's Place, the SAHARAN blush volume 1, and I use the color Abbey, which as you can see is like a slightly darker pinkish color, and that will help me bring color back to my face rather than my face just being like one-dimensional. So this is the final look. I hope that this tutorial has been somewhat beneficial and helpful to you. This is how I achieve my soft glam. I don't really do eyeshadow, but if I did, I'll probably go for like a golden look. Anyways, I hope that you found it useful, helpful. Hopefully the steps have made sense. As I said, and I will say this for the rest of my life, do makeup that suits your face. Before, when I started doing makeup, I was trying to copy like how the girls on YouTube was doing it, like step by step, but then I realized their face, they're doing makeup to suit their face. So if I don't have the exact same face as them, how can it look exactly the same as it looks on them? On me, does that make sense? So I'll start to do makeup that look good for my face, and I feel that looks good. So I feel like this makeup looks good. Let me know down below what you think, and let me know if you want more tutorials. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.